I died at
behind
2:17 Rain poured over the city streets.
But at 2:18 a.m.,
the laboratory
someone
was
forced
now
my heart
burning
to beat
behind
again.
them. Adrian
Rain
Cole
was
and
hitting
Dr.
the roof
Mira
like
Lawson
bullets.
drove through the empty
Inside
roads
the
in
small
a stolen
underground
black car.
laboratory,
The
everything
clock on the
smelled like
dashboard
chemicals
showed the
and
time.
cold metal.
21
Machines
hours
hummed in the darkness.
17 minutes
A
left.
body lay on a
Adrian
steel
sat
table.
silently
The man
in the passenger
was dead.
seat. His
Blood
name
had
was
dried on his
Adrian
shirt,
Cole, but the wound
For
in his
20
shoulder
years,
had already
Adrian
closed.
had been a contract
That wasn't
killer.
normal. Governments
He
denied
looked
him.
at his hands.
Criminals
They
feared
were
him.
shaking slightly.
Nobody truly knew
Something
him.
is wrong with
But
my
tonight,
body,
Adrian Cole
said.
was supposed
Dr.
to stay
Lawson
dead.
kept her eyes
Instead,
on the road.
his fingers moved.
The treatment forces
a
your
monitor
cells
suddenly
to work
beeped.
faster.
Beep.
Much faster.
Beep.
How much
The
faster?
scientists in the room
She
froze.
hesitated.
Dr.
Your body
Mira
is
Lawson
healing
stepped
almost
closer
10
to the
times
table.
faster than a
Her
normal
eyes
human.
were tired, but
Adrian
sharp.
looked at her.
Heart activity
That
detected.
sounds useful,
she whispered.
Dr.
One of
Lawson
the
shook her
technicians
head.
looked at the screen.
It also means your
Impossible.
body is burning itself
His brain
out.
stopped 40 minutes
The silence
ago.
inside the
Then
car
Adrian's
became
chest
heavy.
rose.
Adrian
He
stared
inhaled
outside the
violently.
window at the dark
Air
buildings
rushed into his
passing
lungs
by.
like someone
So
drowning.
the faster I moved,
His eyes
the
opened.
faster I died.
Adrian saw
Dr.
bright
Lawson
lights.
nodded slowly.
His head felt like it was
Yes.
filled with broken
Adrian
glass.
smiled faintly.
Where am
Perfect.
His
They
voice
stopped
sounded
near an
dry
old
and
apartment
weak.
building in the
Dr.
center
Lawson
of the city.
looked down at
Dr.
him.
Lawson
You're
turned off
alive.
the engine. Adrian
This is where
stared at her.
Karev's financial
No,
manager lives,
he said
she
slowly.
said.
I
Adrian
remember
looked at the
dying.
building, and he did
Why
remember.
him?
Because
6
he knows
hours
where
earlier,
Karev hides.
Adrian had been sitting
Adrian
inside a
opened
black
the car
car
door.
outside an
Then
abandoned
let's
warehouse.
ask him.
The
Rain
hallway
covered
smelled
the
like
windshield.
cigarettes and
His
old
target
carpet.
was inside.
Room 304.
A powerful crime boss
Adrian
named
knocked
Victor
on the
Karev.
door.
Adrian
No
had been
answer.
hired to
He
kill
knocked
him.
again.
Just another
Still
job.
nothing.
But
Then
when he
Adrian
kicked the door
entered the
open,
warehouse.
inside the
Something
apartment
felt
a
wrong.
man sat tied
Too
to a
quiet.
chair.
Too empty.
A knife was
Then
stuck
he
in his
heard
throat.
the click.
Adrian
A gun
walked
behind
closer.
him.
You're
On the
late,
wall behind the
a
body
voice
said.
Someone had
Adrian
written a message
turned
in
slowly.
blood. It
You
was
should have
Victor
stayed
Karev.
dead.
And
Dr.
around him
Lawson
stood
looked
8
terrified.
armed men.
We
Adrian
weren't the
realized
first ones
something.
here.
Adrian
Adrian
pulled
set
the
up
knife from the wall
before
and
he
examined
could
it.
move.
Professional
Gunshots
blade
exploded.
Military
Pain
grade
ripped through his chest.
Then Adrian
Another
noticed
bullet
something
hit
else.
his stomach.
A bullet
Adrian
casing
fell
on the floor.
The last thing he
picked it
saw
up.
was Victor
His
Karev
eyes
smiling.
narrowed.
Goodbye,
I know
Mr.
this
Cole.
weapon.
Darkness
Dr. Lawson
swallowed him.
looked at him.
Back in the
What do
laboratory,
you mean? Adrian tried
Adrian
to sit up.
whispered one
Pain
name.
exploded through
Elena
his body.
Voss. Don't move.
Dr. Lawson
Dr.
froze.
Lawson said.
The
You were
mercenary.
dead. Adrian looked
nodded
at her.
slowly.
What did
Elena
you do
Voss
to me?
was known as
She
the ghost
hesitated.
hunter. She
Then she
specialized
spoke
in
quietly.
killing assassins.
We brought you
the best
back.
of the best.
Adrian
And
laughed
she had
weakly.
tried to kill Adrian
That's not
once
possible.
before. Years
Dr.
ago,
Lawson looked at the
Adrian
clock
looked
on the wall.
at the dead man again.
Then she said something
She's working
strange.
for Karev.
You have 24
Suddenly,
hours.
a red laser
Adrian
dot
frowned.
appeared on Adrian's
What?
chest.
The treatment
From
we
the
used
window
is experimental.
A sniper
she
rifle.
said.
It
Dr.
forces
Lawson
your cells
shouted.
to restart
Down.
after death.
The window
Adrian
exploded.
slowly understood.
The bullet tore through the
And
room.
after 24
Adrian
hours,
rolled behind a
Dr.
table.
Lawson didn't
Another
answer.
shot shattered
He
the wall.
looked at the clock.
Adrian peeked
Then he
toward
whispered,
the window.
I
Across
die
the street,
again.
on
Dr.
top of another
Lawson
building,
nodded.
a silhouette
Yes.
stood in
The
the
room
rain.
fell silent.
A woman holding
Rain
a sniper
continued
rifle
outside.
Come. Adrian
Phil,
stared at
watching
the ceiling.
him.
20
Even from
years
far
of
away,
killing.
Adrian
Hundreds
recognized
of
her.
people.
Elena
And now
Voss.
he had only one
Adrian
day left
whispered
to live.
quietly.
Then a dark
Hello,
smile
Elena.
slowly appeared
Another
on his
bullet
face.
slammed into the
Good.
wall inches
Dr.
from his head.
Lawson frowned.
Adrian grabbed his
Good.
rifle and
Adrian
ran toward the
slowly
staircase.
sat up despite
Dr.
the pain.
Lawson grabbed
Because
his
the
arm.
last thing he
Where
remembered
are you going?
was Victor
To
Karev's
say hello
smile.
properly.
Adrian
He
looked
ran
at
outside
Dr. Lawson
into the rain.
Who brought
Across
me here?
the street.
She
Up the
hesitated
fire
again.
escape.
Finally,
3
she
floors.
said, "Someone who wants
floors.
Victor Karev
His heart
dead."
was beating harder now.
Adrian's eyes
Too
hardened.
hardened.
Suddenly,
Then we
his
both want
vision
the same
blurred
thing.
again.
The
His
clock
body
ticked
felt
loudly
cold on the wall,
but he kept
23
climbing.
hours.
When Adrian
12
reached
minutes
the rooftop,
remaining.
the
And
sniper
somewhere
was
in
gone.
the city, only
Victor
the wind
Karev
and rain
had no
remained.
idea.
But
The
on the
man he
ground
killed
lay a small
was coming
metal
back
device.
for him.
Adrian picked it up. A voice recording began playing. Elena's voice. Cold. Come. You always were hard to kill, Adrian. He listened carefully. But this time, it won't matter. The message continued. Because Victor Karev didn't betray you. Adrian froze. The recording ended with one final sentence. You were betrayed by the person who hired you. Silence filled the rooftop. Rain ran down Adrian's face. Dr. Lawson finally reached the roof behind him. "What happened?" she asked. Adrian slowly turned toward her. His eyes were darker now. "Someone lied to us." The wind howled over the city. Adrian looked at the clock on his watch. 19 hours. 42 minutes remaining. Then he said something that made Dr. Lawson uneasy. If Karev didn't betray me. Adrian's voice became colder. Then someone else wanted me dead. And somewhere in the darkness of the city, Elena Vos watched him through binoculars. She whispered to herself, "Tick-tock, Adrian. Let's see what kind of monster you become before the 24 hours end." The city that wanted him dead. Rain
The clock
poured
on the laboratory
over the
wall
city streets.
ticked loudly.
The laboratory was now burning behind them. 12 minutes
Adrian
left.
Cole and Dr.
Adrian
Mira
Cole
Lawson
slowly
drove through
stood
the empty
up from the
roads
steel
in a
table.
stolen black car.
His body felt
The
heavy,
clock on the
like it
dashboard
did not
showed
fully
the
belong
time.
to him anymore.
21
His
hours.
heart was beating. 17
But something
minutes
felt
left.
wrong.
Adrian
Too
sat
slow.
silently
Too
in the
cold.
passenger seat. He looked at
Blood
Dr.
had dried
Mira
on his
Lawson.
shirt.
But the
You
wound
didn't
in his
bring me
shoulder
back
had
just to
already
talk,
closed, Adrian said.
That wasn't normal.
You want something. He looked at
Dr.
his hands.
Lawson crossed her
They were
arms.
shaking slightly.
Yes.
Something
She
is
walked
wrong
toward
with
a
my
screen
body,
and turned it
Adrian
on.
said. A picture
Dr.
appeared.
Lawson kept her
It was
eyes
Victor
on the road.
Karev, the treatment
One of the
forces
most dangerous
yourselves
crime
to work
bosses
faster in the city.
Much
Arms
faster.
dealer.
How much
Human
faster?
trafficker. She
Murderer.
hesitated. A man
Your
protected
body is
by
healing
money,
almost
10
soldiers
times faster
and
than a
politicians.
normal human. Dr. Lawson
Adrian
spoke
looked
quietly.
at her.
Karev
That sounds
funds
useful.
illegal experiments.
Dr. Lawson
The
shook
same
her head.
people who created
It also
the treatment
means your
that
body
brought you
is
back.
burning itself out.
Adrian looked at her carefully.
The silence inside
So
the car
I'm their
became heavy.
experiment. Adrian
Yes,
stared
she
outside
said.
the window at
You
the
are
dark
subject
buildings
zero.
passing by.
So
Adrian
the faster
didn't
I
look
move,
surprised. The faster
for 20
I die.
years
I killed
Dr.
people for
Lawson
money, nodded
he said.
slowly. Now someone
Yes.
bought me
Adrian
after death.
smiled faintly.
Dr. Lawson didn't
Perfect.
argue. They stopped
Instead,
near an old
she
apartment
looked at the
building
clock
in
again.
the center of the city.
You have 23
Dr. Lawson
hours left.
turned off the engine.
Your body will start
This is
shutting
where
down
Karev's
slowly.
financial manager
Your
lives.
organs will
she said.
fail one by
Adrian
one.
looked at the building.
Adrian
cracked
Why
his
him?
neck. Because
Then
he
I should
knows where
start
Karev
working.
hides.
But suddenly,
Adrian
alarm.
opened the car door. Red lights
Then
filled the
let's
laboratory.
ask him.
One
The
of the
hallway
technicians
smelled like
shouted,
cigarettes and old
"Security
carpet.
breach.
Room 304.
Someone's inside the building."
Adrian knocked on the
Dr.
door.
Lawson's face
No
turned
answer.
pale. He knocked
That's
again.
impossible.
Still nothing.
Adrian already
Then he
understood.
kicked the door open.
They came to
Inside
finish
the
the job.
apartment. A man
The security
sat tied
camera
to a
screen
chair. Turned on.
Dead.
Men
A
in
knife
black
was
stuck
tactical
in his
armor
throat were moving through the
Adrian
hallways.
walked closer.
Guns ready.
On the wall behind the
Professional
body.
killers. Someone had written
Adrian
a message
smiled
in blood.
slightly.
You
should have
Karev
stayed
works
dead.
fast. Dr. Lawson looked
grabbed
terrified.
his arm.
We
You're
weren't
not the
ready.
first ones here.
Your body.
Adrian
pulled
pulled
the knife
pulled
from
away.
the wall and examined
My body
it.
is already
Professional
dead.
blade. He looked around
Military
the room.
grade.
Then he spotted
Adrian
a metal
noticed
cabinet.
something else.
Inside
A
were
bullet
weapons,
casing on the floor.
pistols. He picked
A
it up.
shotgun.
His
A
eyes
combat
narrowed.
knife. I
Adrian
know
picked
this
up the
weapon.
knife and held
Dr.
it in
Lawson
his hand.
looked at him.
It felt
What do you
familiar.
mean?
Like muscle
Adrian
memory
whispered
had returned.
one name.
The technician
Elena
whispered
Vos.
nervously. Dr.
They'll
Lawson
be here
froze.
in
30 seconds.
The mercenary.
Adrian walked toward
nodded
the door.
slowly.
Open it. Elena Vos was
Dr.
known
Lawson
as the
stared
ghost
at
hunter.
him.
She
You're going to
specialized
fight
in
them.
killing assassins. Adrian looked
The
back
best of the
calmly.
best. They
And she
already
had tried
killed
to
me
kill
once.
Adrian once
Then
before.
he opened the door.
Years ago. The hallway
Adrian
was dark.
looked at the dead man
Footsteps
again.
echoed. She's working.
3
for
soldiers
Karev.
turned the corner.
Suddenly,
They raised
a
their
red laser
rifles.
dot appeared
Target
on Adrian's
spotted.
chest. Gunfire
From the window.
exploded. A sniper
Adrian
rifle
moved
fast. Dr. Lawson
Faster
shouted.
than the soldiers
Down.
expected.
The window
He grabbed the
exploded.
first man's rifle
The bullet
and slammed
tore
him
through
into
the
the
wall.
wall. Crack.
Adrian rolled
The
behind
second
a
soldier
table.
fired.
Another shot
A bullet
shattered
hit
the wall.
Adrian's shoulder.
Adrian peeked
But
toward
Adrian
the window.
didn't even stop.
Across the street,
The soldiers'
on top
eyes
of another
widened.
building,
What
a
the-
silhouette stood
Adrian
in the rain.
stabbed the knife
A
straight
woman
into
holding
his
a
chest.
sniper rifle. The third soldier tried to
still.
run. Watching
Adrian
him,
shot him
even
with
from
the
far
stolen
away.
rifle.
Adrian
Silence
recognized
returned.
her. Elena
Adrian
Vos
leaned against
Adrian
the wall.
whispered
Blood
quietly.
slowly dripped
Hello,
from his shoulder.
Elena.
But
Another
something
bullet
strange
slammed
happened.
into the wall inches
The wound
from his
stopped
head.
bleeding.
Adrian
His
grabbed
body
his
was
rifle and ran
repairing
toward the
itself.
staircase. Slowly,
Dr. Lawson grabbed
Adrian
his
looked
arm.
confused.
Where are you
Dr.
going?
Lawson came
To
running.
say hello
You're
properly.
healing. He ran
That wasn't
outside
part of the
into
plan.
rain. Adrian
Across
said.
the street.
Dr. Lawson
Up the
looked
fire
terrified.
escape.
The
3
treatment
floors.
shouldn't do that.
4 floors.
Then Adrian
His heart
realized
was beating
something.
harder now.
This experiment
Too hard.
didn't just bring me
Suddenly,
back.
his vision
He
blurred
looked
again.
at the dead soldiers
His
on
body
the floor.
felt cold.
It changed
But he
me.
kept climbing.
Suddenly, the
When
building
Adrian
shook.
reached the rooftop,
An
the
explosion
sniper was
destroyed
gone.
the main entrance.
Only the wind and rain
Dr. Lawson
remained.
looked at the
But on the
security
ground
screen again.
lay a small
More
metal
vehicles
device.
were arriving.
Adrian picked
At
it up.
least 20
A
soldiers.
voice recording began
She
playing.
whispered. Elena Elena's
Karev
voice.
isn't trying to
Cold.
kill you.
Adrian
You
loaded
always
the
were
rifle.
hard to kill,
He's
Adrian.
trying to erase
He
the
listened
experiment.
carefully.
Adrian
But
looked
this
at the
time,
clock
it
on the
won't
wall
matter.
again. The
22
message continued.
hours.
Because Victor
03
Karev
minutes
didn't
remaining.
betray you. Then he said
Adrian
something
froze.
Good
The
thing
recording
I only
ended
need
with
a few
one
hours.
final
sentence. Dr.
You
Lawson
were betrayed
looked at him.
by the person
You're
who hired
going
you.
after Karev.
Silence filled
Adrian
the rooftop.
nodded. Rain
Yes.
ran down Adrian's
Outside,
face.
the rain had
Dr.
become
Lawson
heavier.
finally reached
The city
roof
lights
behind
reflected
him.
on the wet
What
streets.
happened? She
Somewhere
asked.
out there.
Adrian
Victor
slowly
Karev
turned
was
toward
sleeping
her.
peacefully.
His eyes were
Adrian
darker
walked
now. Toward the exit.
Someone lied to
but
us.
suddenly, the wind
His heart
howled
skipped
over the
a beat.
city.
His
Adrian
vision
looked at
blurred.
the clock on his
He
watch.
fell to one knee.
19 hours.
Dr. Lawson rushed to
42
him.
minutes
It's
remaining.
starting, she
Then he
said.
said something that
What?
made Dr.
The
Lawson
countdown.
uneasy. Adrian
If Karev
slowly
didn't
stood
betray
again.
me,
Pain
Adrian's
burned
voice
inside
became
his chest.
colder.
But he
Then
smiled.
someone else wanted
then
me
we
dead.
better move fast.
And somewhere in the
because
darkness
in this
of the
city
city
tonight, Elena
a dead
Voss
man
watched
was walking
him through binoculars,
and he only had 22
she
hours
whispered
left
to herself
to kill the man who murdered
Tick-tock,
him.
Adrian. Let's see what kind of monster you become before the 24 hours end. The truth behind the bullet. Rain poured over the city streets. The laboratory was now burning behind them. Adrian Cole and Dr. Mira Lawson drove through the empty roads in a stolen black car. The clock on the dashboard showed the time. 21 hours. 17 minutes left. Adrian sat silently in the passenger seat. Blood had dried on his shirt, but the wound in his shoulder had already closed. That wasn't normal. He looked at his hands. They were shaking slightly. Something is wrong with my body, Adrian said. Dr. Lawson kept her eyes on the road. The treatment forces your cells to work faster. Much faster. How much faster? She hesitated. Your body is healing almost 10 times faster than a normal human. Adrian looked at her. That sounds useful. Dr. Lawson shook her head. It also means your body is burning itself out. The silence inside the car became heavy. Adrian stared outside the window at the dark buildings passing by. So the faster I move, the faster I die. Dr. Lawson nodded slowly. Yes. Adrian smiled faintly. Perfect. They stopped near an old apartment building in the center of the city. Dr. Lawson turned off the engine. This is where Karev's financial manager lives, she said. Adrian looked at the building. Why him? Because he knows where Karev hides. Adrian opened the car door. Then let's ask him. The hallway smelled like cigarettes and old carpet. Room 304. Adrian knocked on the door. No answer. He knocked again. Still nothing. Then he kicked the door open. Inside the apartment, a man sat tied to a chair. Dead. A knife was stuck in his throat. Adrian walked closer. On the wall behind the body, someone had written a message in blood. You should have stayed dead. Dr. Lawson looked terrified. We weren't the first ones here. Adrian pulled the knife from the wall and examined it. Professional blade. Military grade. Then Adrian noticed something else. A bullet casing on the floor. He picked it up. His eyes narrowed. I know this weapon. Dr. Lawson looked at him. What do you mean? Adrian whispered one name. Elena Voss. Dr. Lawson froze. The mercenary. Adrian nodded slowly. Elena Voss was known as the Ghost Hunter. She specialized in killing assassins. The best of the best. And she had tried to kill Adrian once before. Years ago. Adrian looked at the dead man again. She's working for Karev. Suddenly, a red laser dot appeared on Adrian's chest. From the window. A sniper rifle. Dr. Lawson shouted. Down! The window exploded. The bullet tore through the room. Adrian rolled behind a table. Another shot shattered the wall. Adrian peeked toward the window. Across the street, on top of another building, a silhouette stood in the rain. A woman holding a sniper rifle. Still. Watching him. Even from far away, Adrian recognized her. Elena Voss. Adrian whispered quietly. Hello, Elena. Another bullet slammed into the wall inches from his head. Adrian grabbed his rifle and ran toward the staircase. Dr. Lawson grabbed his arm. Where are you going? To say hello properly. He ran outside into the rain. Across the street. Up the fire escape. 3 floors. 4 floors. His heart was beating harder now. Too hard. Suddenly his vision blurred again. His body felt cold. But he kept climbing. When Adrian reached the rooftop, the sniper was gone. Only the wind and rain remained. But on the ground lay a small metal device. Adrian picked it up. A voice recording began playing. Elena's voice. Cold. Calm. You always were hard to kill, Adrian. He listened carefully. But this time it won't matter. The message continued. Because Viktor Karev didn't betray you. Adrian froze. The recording ended with one final sentence. You were betrayed by the person who hired you. Silence filled the rooftop. Rain ran down Adrian's face. Dr. Lawson finally reached the roof behind him. What happened? She asked. Adrian slowly turned toward her. His eyes were darker now. Someone lied to us. The wind howled over the city. Adrian looked at the clock on his watch. 19 hours. 42 minutes remaining. Then he said something that made Dr. Lawson uneasy. If Karev didn't betray me. Adrian's voice became colder. Then someone else wanted me dead. And somewhere in the darkness of the city, Elena Voss watched him through binoculars. She whispered to herself, "Tick-tock, Adrian. Let's see what kind of monster you become before the 24 hours end." The monster inside. The wind howled across the rooftop. Rain poured down on Adrian Cole's face as he stood there, holding the small recorder Elena Voss had left behind. Dr. Mira Lawson looked worried. "What did the message say?" she asked. Adrian stared at the dark city below. "She said Viktor Karev didn't betray me." Dr. Lawson frowned. "That doesn't make sense." Adrian's eyes looked colder now. "It means someone else wanted me dead." The thought hung in the air like smoke. For the first time that night, Adrian felt something strange inside his chest. Not pain. Something darker. His heart suddenly skipped a beat again. Then another. He grabbed the railing to steady himself. Dr. Lawson rushed forward. "Adrian!" His breathing became heavy. His veins turned darker under his skin. "What's happening to me?" he asked. Dr. Lawson looked terrified. "The treatment is pushing your body too far." Adrian clenched his fists. His muscles suddenly tightened, stronger than before. Stronger, but unstable. "This isn't just resurrection," he said. "You changed me." Dr. Lawson shook her head. "No, the formula wasn't supposed to do this." Adrian's eyes locked onto her. "But it did." The clock on his watch blinked. 18 hours. 10 minutes remaining. Adrian wiped the rain from his face. "Enough talking." He walked toward the stairs. "Where are we going?" Dr. Lawson asked. "To Karev." She followed him quickly. "But we still don't know where he is." Adrian stopped halfway down the stairs. Then he said quietly, "Yes, we do." Dr. Lawson looked confused. Adrian held up the recorder. "Elena wanted me to hear that message." "So, she wants me alive." Dr. Lawson's eyes widened. "You think she's leading us somewhere?" Adrian nodded. "Exactly." Across the city, inside a tall glass tower, Viktor Karev stood beside a large window. The rain hit the glass softly. A man walked into the room. It was Elena Voss. She placed her sniper rifle on the table. Karev smiled. "Did you kill him?" Elena shook her head calmly. "No." Karev frowned. "That wasn't the deal." Elena sat down. "Trust me," she said. "He's more useful alive." Karev looked annoyed. "You assassins always play games." Elena's eyes were cold. "This isn't a game." She leaned forward. "You don't understand what they did to him." Karev laughed. "A dead man is still a dead man." Elena didn't smile. "You'll see." Back on the streets, Adrian and Dr. Lawson drove through the dark city. Suddenly, Adrian's hearing sharpened. He could hear things far away. Sirens. Footsteps. even whispers from people walking on the sidewalk. He turned his head quickly. "What is it?" Dr. Lawson asked. Adrian looked confused. "I can hear everything." Dr. Lawson realized something. "The treatment enhanced your nervous system." Adrian stared at his reflection in the car window. His eyes looked slightly different now. Darker. Almost animal-like. "How much of me is still human?" he asked quietly. Dr. Lawson didn't answer. Because she didn't know. They stopped near an abandoned factory district. Adrian stepped out of the car. The wind carried a familiar scent. Gun oil. Smoke. And something else. A trap. He smiled slightly. "Elena's here," Dr. Lawson whispered nervously. "How do you know?" Adrian pointed toward the dark factory entrance. "Because she wants me to walk inside." The giant metal doors creaked as he pushed them open. The factory was silent. Empty. But Adrian could feel eyes watching him. Then a voice echoed from the darkness. "Still alive, I see." Elena Voss stepped out from behind a machine. Her pistol pointed straight at him. Rainwater dripped from her black coat. Adrian looked at her calmly. "You always did like dramatic meetings." Elena tilted her head. "You look different." Adrian shrugged. "I died today." She smiled faintly. "I know." Dr. Lawson stood behind Adrian nervously. "What do you want?" Adrian asked. Elena's voice became serious. "I want you to stop chasing Karev." Adrian laughed. "That's not happening." Elena stepped closer. "You don't understand the truth yet." Adrian's eyes narrowed. "Then tell me." The factory lights flickered. Elena looked directly into his eyes and said something shocking. "The person who ordered your death is standing next to you." Adrian slowly turned his head toward Dr. Lawson. The room suddenly felt colder. Dr. Lawson looked terrified. "I can explain." Adrian's voice dropped into a dangerous whisper. "You better." The clock on Adrian's watch continued ticking. 16 hours. 02 minutes remaining. And inside him, the monster was beginning to wake up. The betrayal. The abandoned factory was silent. Rain dripped through the broken roof and hit the cold concrete floor. Adrian Cole stood still. In front of him was Elena Voss, her gun steady. Behind him stood Dr. Mira Lawson. The words Elena had spoken were still echoing in the air. "The person who ordered your death is standing next to you." Adrian slowly turned his head toward Dr. Lawson. Her face had gone pale. "Adrian, listen to me," she said quietly. But Adrian's voice was colder than the rain outside. "Did you hire Karev to kill me?" Dr. Lawson shook her head quickly. "No, I didn't hire Karev." Adrian took a step closer. "Then explain." Elena watched silently, lowering her gun slightly. She wanted Adrian to hear the truth. Dr. Lawson took a deep breath. "You were never supposed to stay dead." Adrian frowned. "What?" She continued. "I needed someone strong enough to survive the experiment. Someone whose body could handle it." Adrian's eyes narrowed. "So you used me?" Dr. Lawson nodded slowly. "Yes." The truth hit like a hammer. "You hired Karev's men to ambush me," Adrian said. "Yes," she whispered. "But the plan wasn't for you to die permanently. We were watching. The moment your heart stopped, we took your body and started the treatment." Adrian laughed quietly. A cold, dark laugh. "So I was just a test subject." Dr. Lawson's voice trembled. "No. You were the only one who could survive it." Elena finally spoke. "That experiment you're carrying inside your body, it's worth billions." Adrian looked at her. "What exactly did you do to me?" Dr. Lawson hesitated. Then she said something terrifying. "You are no longer fully human." Silence filled the factory. The machines around them creaked in the wind. Dr. Lawson continued. "The treatment replaced damaged cells with accelerated regenerative cells. Your body heals faster. Your senses are stronger." Adrian clenched his fists. "But there is a problem." "What problem?" Adrian asked. Dr. Lawson looked down. Your brain is also changing. Adrian felt a strange pressure inside his skull. That's why you're feeling anger, stronger than before. Elena added quietly. The treatment slowly removes fear. Adrian looked shocked. What? Dr. Lawson nodded. In a few hours, your mind may stop feeling empathy. Adrian understood. You're turning me into a monster. Dr. Lawson whispered. I was trying to create the perfect soldier. Adrian looked down at his hands again. His veins were darker now. His heartbeat was stronger, more violent. The watch on his wrist blinked again. 13 hours. 25 minutes remaining. Adrian suddenly looked up. Where is Karev? Elena answered this time. He's hiding in the Karev Financial Tower downtown. Adrian looked at her carefully. Why are you helping me? Elena gave a small smile. Because Karev hired me to kill you. Adrian waited for the rest. And I don't like being lied to, she said. Karev knew about the experiment. He planned to capture you after the 24 hours ended. Dr. Lawson looked shocked. He knew. Elena nodded. Yes. Adrian's eyes darkened. So everyone was using me. Dr. Lawson whispered. I'm sorry. But Adrian wasn't listening anymore. His heartbeat suddenly started pounding harder. Thump, thump, thump. His vision turned slightly red. His body felt stronger than ever. But his emotions felt distant, like something inside him was fading. Elena noticed. It's starting, she said. Dr. Lawson looked terrified. If the transformation completes, he won't stop killing. Adrian looked at both of them. Good. Dr. Lawson stepped back. You don't mean that. Adrian picked up a rifle from the floor. I've killed hundreds of people already. His voice sounded almost calm. What's a few more? Elena studied him carefully. Then let's finish this. Adrian looked at the factory exit. The rain outside had turned into a storm. Lightning flashed across the sky. Somewhere in the city, Viktor Karev was waiting inside his tower. And he had no idea what was coming. Adrian checked the time again. 12 hours. 02 minutes remaining. Then he said quietly, Let's go kill a king. The final hour. Lightning flashed across the sky. The tall glass building of Karev Financial Tower stood in the middle of the storm like a dark giant. Rain hit the streets hard. A black car stopped near the entrance. Adrian Cole stepped out slowly. Behind him were Elena Voss and Dr. Mira Lawson. Adrian looked up at the tower. This is where it ends. He checked the time on his watch. 3 hours. 41 minutes remaining. Dr. Lawson looked worried. Adrian, listen to me. Your brain is changing faster now. Adrian didn't look at her. I know. Elena loaded her pistol. Karev has at least 30 armed guards inside. Adrian smiled slightly. Then it will be fun. Dr. Lawson grabbed his arm. This isn't a game. If the experiment completes, you might lose control completely. Adrian slowly removed her hand. Then we better finish before that happens. Inside the tower lobby, guards stood near metal detectors. The moment Adrian walked in, they recognized him. One guard shouted, It's him! Gunfire exploded. Adrian moved faster than any human. Bullets tore through the marble walls. Adrian grabbed one guard and threw him across the room. The man crashed into a glass desk. Elena fired precise shots behind him. 2 guards fell instantly. Adrian's body moved like a machine. Every punch was stronger than before. Every movement faster. But something inside him felt strange. His anger was growing. Too strong. A guard fired a shotgun. The blast hit Adrian in the chest. He flew backward and hit the floor. Dr. Lawson screamed, Adrian! But Adrian slowly stood up again. The wound in his chest closed slowly. His eyes looked darker now. Almost empty. The guards hesitated. One whispered, He's not human. Adrian walked toward them calmly. Within seconds, the lobby became silent. No guards remained standing. Elena looked at Adrian carefully. "You're changing." Adrian didn't answer. They reached the top floor. Viktor Karev was waiting inside his office. 2 bodyguards stood beside him. Karev looked surprised when Adrian entered. "You're supposed to be dead." Adrian smiled faintly. "You already tried that." Karev grabbed a pistol. "You were just an experiment." Adrian walked closer. "Everyone keeps saying that." Karev fired. The bullet hit Adrian's shoulder. Adrian didn't even slow down. Fear finally appeared in Karev's eyes. "What are you?" Adrian grabbed him by the collar. "A man who died this morning." He slammed Karev against the wall. Glass shattered behind them. Karev tried to speak. "Wait, we can make a deal." Adrian raised his fist. But suddenly, Dr. Lawson shouted, "Stop!" Adrian froze. She stepped forward slowly. "Adrian, if you kill him now, the last part of your humanity will disappear." Adrian's hand trembled. Inside his mind something was fighting. Rage. Hate. But also something else. Regret. He remembered all the people he had killed during his life. The weight of it. The darkness. Karev whispered desperately, "You're a killer. That's all you are." Adrian looked into Karev's eyes. Then he said quietly, "Not anymore." Instead of killing him, Adrian threw Karev across the room. Elena immediately handcuffed him. Sirens could be heard outside. Police were arriving. Karev's empire was finished. Adrian looked at his watch. 14 minutes remaining. His body felt weak now. The strength was fading. Dr. Lawson walked toward him slowly. "You did it." Adrian shook his head. "No." He looked at the storm outside the broken window. "I just finished my last job." His breathing became slower. Elena stood silently nearby. Adrian turned to Dr. Lawson. "Did your experiment work?" Tears filled her eyes. "Yes." Adrian nodded slightly. "Then promise me something." "What?" "Don't create another one." Dr. Lawson whispered. "I promise." Adrian smiled faintly. The storm outside began to calm. The first light of morning appeared in the sky. Adrian looked at the sunrise. For the first time in many years, he felt peaceful. His watch reached midnight. His heart stopped. Adrian Cole fell to the floor. The dead man had finally used his 24 hours. And this time, he stayed dead. White heavy check marked the end.